right, look at that. We're live for another Joking Adventure Hour. This is Monday, April 3rd, 2026. Hello to X Rumble and BitChute. Hello to YouTube. Hello to Lurks and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings, everybody.
We stream every night because the stories are real, but the news, they be fake.
Yep.
And before we jump into the news, be sure you get your copy of The Immortal Mass, a 200-page graphic novel on sale now on my personal website, Dinales.com. You can also get it at CriticalBlast.com. Or if you have access to Amazon, that little store over there, you can also get it at Amazon.com under Dinales Immortal Mask. All right. Eric, the Senate, that's the U.S. Senate. The U.S. Senate 89-4 has advanced legislation blocking a government shutdown through 2026 midterm into December. The Senate takes summer vacation days from now. Vote on the Save American Act.
Whoa. Are you telling me they no longer have a vacation period?
Oh, they're close to a vacation period.
Oh, that's a shame.
Uh-huh. But, the pressure is starting to build up, on these guys.
Oh, really? How you figure?
Because this is midterm election. You think you're gonna be able to keep your seat in the midterms if you're not even doing something to pass a thing that should be self-evident?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Trump is going to put an executive order. I don't believe they're going to pass the Save American Act until after the election. But you know what? Easy come, easy go, right?
Yep.
Benny Johnson, 18 Republican senators are now standing together by the day demanding no August recess until the Save American Act is passed. And here's the roster. Mike Lee, Rick Scott, Tommy Tuberville, Jim Bank, Ashley Moody, Darlene Graham, Bill Hellegree, Katie Britt, Todd Young, Marsha Blackburn, Eric Schmidt, David McCormick, Roger Marshall, Jim Reese, Ted Cruz, Mike Carpel, John Host, and James Langford.
Oh, boy. That's a lot of people. That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah. No recess until the Save American Act is passed.
Yep.
All right. Again, they're making a big deal out of it. Eric, Senator John Kennedy indicates Leader John Thune should stay and fight for the Save American Act rather than go on vacation because we don't have the votes. Get the vote. Force it through reconciliation.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, and I bet you they'll get reconciliation, but then, the parliamentarian will, vetoed it. Yep. And then it should be easy. It's like, oh, you're vetoing it, you're fired. But they're not going to do that. Oh no, it got vetoed. I can't do anything. Eric, holy crap! Pennsylvania just purged his voter votes, and Democrat lost tens of thousands of voters versus Republican in 1 week. The Democrat lost 54,178. And the GOP gained 30,195. What?
Yep.
Uh-oh. This comes right after New Jersey got caught letting non-citizens onto the rolls. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Come on. That's not supposed to happen. This is the most secure something.
Yeah.
Something,
This is as bad as this story. Dexro, a screening of Spider-Man Brand New Day was evacuated after an audience member unleash a Hulk-sized fart into the theater. This was so unbearable that moviegoers had to leave the theaters in disgust.
Hulk size fart.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's chemical warfare.
Yeah. What a great what a great line. That's a great line. Yeah. Reminds me of John Belushi in Saturday Night Live, who
Yeah.
played the Hulk.
Yeah.
He came out of the bathroom. He goes, "Do not go in there."
Woo! And Jim Carrey sold it from his
Yep.
Ace Ventura.
Yep.
Seth Cashel, as I predicted, Pennsylvania voter registration momentum for the Deeds was all based on the run-up to the primary. Maintenance eliminated almost half of their active voter registration lead, which is down 25,811. To put it in context, if the same maintenance cut happened this week, there would be more active Republicans in Pennsylvania than Democrats. Looks like the whole blue state bullshit is coming to light. That, Democrats appears to be blue because they've been putting people who are not on the voter rolls for many, many years.
Yeah.
Snowball 2, George. Snowball 2. Rapid Response 47 reposting Donald J. Trump's Truth Social. The Iranian leaders is unbelievably duplicitous. They're asking for a meeting. Some would say beg. Talk begins with more scheduled in the immediate future. And then they'll say, open and proudly, they're not having any discussion, that nothing is being talked about, and they're only dealing with Oman. Then they go on and give their usual bladder in saying the Strait of Hormuz will be operated powerfully by them, and when it's already completely controlled by the United States Navy and our blockades, as some say, the United States wall of steel. Nothing get through Iran unless we want it to. Nothing will get through unless a deal or total surrender is accomplished. Whether Iran wants to admit it or not, we are in fact talking of a solution to the problem they have caused for decades. A very simple, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
He keeps saying that. Okay, they won't have a nuclear weapon, but what about all these missiles that they have?
Who cares about the missiles? They'll only go to Europe.
Dead Americans care about those missiles.
What dead Americans?
Those missiles. There was Iran through what they launched missiles and killed a few Americans.
You mean 17 Americans
at a base?
In the 17 base?
At one of those bases.
In a 17-hour?
I don't know. What about that?
Hey George, when do we know when that happened and if it happens? We're taking everything in facts when it could have been AI, could have been stage, it could have been anything. We can't verify that really happened, can we?
I guess so.
So if you fart in the woods, would anybody say that you farted?
A bear would tell you. They got a smell that they can smell you a mile away.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that Greek guy farted in the woods again. He should stop. Brian Cates, everyone watches Hefseg and not Bassett like they're supposed to. What networks are being exposed and shut down? One by one, the Iranian proxy state is losing its financial lifelines to the people that own it. It's not a war. It's a series of stress tests to reveal the networks and shut them off. So every time he says, you're not going to get a nuclear deal, and we talk about this, they activate another network, and then they just trim it. So it's basically, bothering up and smacking them down.
Mhm.
The briefing 17 timelines, patterns, stress the network, light up the network. Yesterday, Treasury designated 6 entities across 4 countries in a single action: China, India, Russia, and Iran. 3 of those countries are geopolitical adversaries of the United States. All 3 have commercial entity designated for material supporting Iran Revolution Guards Corps through the uh, Mahan Air and airline that the USS moves weapons, operative military equipment for the IRGC while presenting itself as a civilian carrier. 1 action, 4 countries, 6 entities, all designed under counterterrorism authority. The entities: Shanghai Wings International Logistic, China's Mahan Air General Sales Agents, coordinating electronic shipment from China to Iran. Sheikh's Travel Logistic India Maha Air General Sales Agent in India. Air Cargo Pro Limited Russia Maha Air General Sales in Russia. Date Date Nagar Startup Studio. Iran's an IRG seafront company disguised as a tech startup that solicits the location of American and Israel military equipment and receives strike requests for U.S. targets in the Middle East. A logistic company in Shanghai, a travel agency in India, a cargo firm in Russia, the startup in Iran that was running a military targeting operation. Here's what this actual action actually does: it puts stress on the network and watches where the money goes. When you designate a general sales agent in Shanghai, every Chinese company that did business with Shanghai Wings now has to decide, do I keep that relationship or put my own access to the United States financial system, or do I cut it? Same calculation to India, same in Russia. The destination doesn't seize the entity, it makes the entity radioactive to every counterparty that needs dollars access. And then when you watch who keeps doing business with them, who finds a workaround, where does the money reroute? The stress reveals the architecture. The architecture reveals the network, and here's the part that keeps confirming the same pattern. Nobody fights back. Not on the financial enforcement. China, India, and Russia fights the United States on trade, on tariffs, on diplomacy, a military position loudly, publicly, and constantly. Section 338 tariffs on Canada, 20% on Brazil. Second tariffs aim at China and India, and sectioning Russian and Iran acts that passed the Senate 86-12 this week. The friction is real and it's public. When the Treasury designates a Chinese logistic company, an India travel agency, and a Russian cargo firm for supporting the IRGC, silence.
Ooh, boy.
Across 37 primary money laundering concerns action over 25 years, no host jurisdiction has ever defended a designated entity. Switzerland killed M. Bear. Endornia arrested the BPA CEO in 3 days. Cambodia extradited Chen Jin to China. And yesterday, Treasury reached inside 3 of the framework's 5 sovereign powers simultaneously and designated their commercial entity for enabling a commercial or a terrorist enterprise. Watch for the response. If China defends Shanghai Wings, if India defends Sheikh's Travel, if Russia defends Air Cargo Pro, that would be the first time in record a sovereign has protected a designated entity. It hasn't happened in 25 years. And Date uh, Nagar is the one that should keep you at night, a startup studio. That's why it calls itself. In reality, it is an IRGC front company that built a website soliciting locations of American and Israel military equipment and received strike requests for U.S. target, an intelligence collection operating running through a commercial front that looks like a tech company.
Mhm.
However respectable their front may be, Bessa said it 11 days ago from a podium at a 70 country summit. Yesterday says it again. Those who provide financial service, logistic, and commercial support to the IRGC or Maha Air are helping sustain a terrorist enterprise. Same set instructions, same thesis, same architecture. Apply across 4 country in 1 action. Watch the money, not the podium. Also, hey George, remember Operation Blackout with FBI Director Kash Patel shutting down 4 call centers in India that was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Isn't that funny that around this time that also happened? So that's another stress front closed out.
What?
Mm-hmm. Operation Blackout, George.
Wow.
Those scam centers were ways to get money for these endeavors. Let me see. Moving on. Natalie Winter, a foreign owned company, was behind the software error that registered 6,600 non citizens to vote in New Jersey. Its owner has invested billion in China and partnered with a princely fund founded by a former CCP leader grandson. The company, IDEMIA Public Security, is a deeply embedded in American government infrastructure supporting the TSA pre-check, the CBP biometrics, the FBI fingerprint system, the Pentagon identity operation, and driver's license in 36 states. And it happens to also control New Jersey voter registration system. The IDEMIA is controlled by Advent International, which invests
Ah,
alongside
sorry. I had I didn't realize I had the
Mute.
audio muted. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. I was typing something and sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Okay. The IDEMI is controlled by this Advent International, which invests alongside Boyu Capital, the Chinese private equity firm co-founded by Alvin Jiang, grandson of the former CCP leader Jiang Zemin. Router describes Boyu as a Chinese princely firm. Advent has invested more than 1.8 billion across the Greater China, maintains offices in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and runs its Greater China investment operation from Shanghai. New Jersey blamed a serious software error for registering 6,600 non citizens, including applicants who indicated they were not U.S. citizens. The state explanation omitted the foreign ownership in China Link financial network behind its software vendor. Hey, George, it's Shanghai again. What did we read? Shanghai wings.
Ah,
How much are we going to find out those two are connected? Pretty soon.
it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. This whole world system thing.
Mm-hmm. So when you say, "Oh no, we can't have our information compromised," it's been compromised for decades.
Yep.
Blonde Golf Girl, maybe the USAID ID paid Indian scammers. Don't know if anyone fell for them. Can't even understand them. Old people fell for them.
Yep.
Always. Gap After Dark is 7 o'clock. There's no news. TikTok, TikTok is 7 o'clock, and there's no news. TikTok, TikTok. Maybe you should change your time. It's more. It's more of a suggestion than an actual time.
Yeah, yeah. We're saying sometime today.
Sometime today.
I
We're the
think.
late news. We can't be the early
Yeah,
news.
we're the latest. We're the latest news. We're always late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're late to the party. We're late to the game.
yeah.
He was late to his wife's delivery.
Oh, I was late everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anime update. The US and China has announced a joint action to strengthen the Japanese yen. They have weakened the yen. They have a weakening yen, and they want a little bit of help. And we're always there for Japan. And Japan has been very good to us, with exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor, Donald Trump.
He just had to throw that in there, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Just a reminder. By the way, what this actually does, it means that those people who took the yen when it was really cheap are scrambling to pay it back quickly, because if it was weakening, it'll be cheaper for them to pay it back. But since the U.S. is strengthening it again, that means it's going to cost them more to pay it back.
Mhm.
the money. It's like variable mortgage, you know. They were getting at 2%, and when the yen was weakening, it was going to 1%, right?
Mhm.
With the U.S., it's not going up to 10%. If you want to if you want to think it in those terms.
Yep.
Polymark breaking. Trump announces the Strait of Hormuz is now completely controlled by the U.S. Navy. We control the tip. We control what comes in and what comes out. We control the paste. Eric, holy smoke. Jaw dropping fraud reports just found that 9.2 million people, including illegal aliens, do not meet the federal requirement to qualify for the Obamacare Medicaid expansion program. That's nearly half of those enrolled, 50% fraud. Problems are worse in California and New York. Imagine that. The study says New York and California have the biggest problem, finding up to 62% of people enrolled in California are not eligible. And the states might not even be incentivized to fix the issue. This study says some of those people actually make too much money to qualify for this Medicaid expansion program, and others are getting these benefits even though they're here in this country illegally. This entire system has to be gutted, purged, the roll.
Wow.
No, it was done purposefully, intentionally. Do you want to
Oh
know why?
no. Why?
Hey George, when an employer has to hire an employee, what are some of the things that that employer has to give to that employee?
Oh, the an application.
No, no, no. You're already hired.
Oh,
When you,
a mission statement for their job.
no, that's already given. No, what does an employee get in exchange for working at the company?
Oh, money.
And
More money.
benefits.
Oh, benefits. What the hell is a benefit? I mean, aren't these benefits so gauche?
Right. So you get paid, right? So
Yeah.
you can pay your living expense and whatever, right? And you
Hmm.
also get benefits. What benefits you may ask? Like healthcare, right?
Okay, sure.
So you have money in healthcare, right? Now, why would these illegal have Medicaid um, benefits?
Mhm.
And why would the states not be incentivized to fix the issue?
Oh no, why?
Because how do you keep the costs low for the employers to not hire American but hire these foreign illegal aliens? Well, you're not paying them high, so you're paying them the bare minimum of maybe $4 or $5 an hour, right? Compared to illegal American or legal resident uh, alien resident,
Mhm.
the $30 that they're supposed to be getting, right?
Yeah.
So that illegal alien, you know, is under the poverty line, so that means that they need to get public housing,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you know they'll be jumped ahead of all the other people, Americans and legal residents, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have public housing. Oh, and since you know we don't have, and the employer doesn't have to pay for benefits like healthcare, because those illegal aliens are getting Medicaid, uh, for to cover their healthcare needs.
Hmm. Hmm.
Guess what? That's how you maintain a slave population, more or less, and the employers don't have to pay all that money, and it becomes better deal than hiring actual citizens or legal residents because you don't have to give those legally required benefits.
Oh boy.
But what do you do when you get rid of those illegal aliens the access to public housing, access to Medicaid, healthcare?
Oh no. What? What?
They can't live here. They
Oh
can't.
geez.
They can't. operate here. Guess what will happen? They'll self-deport themselves because they can't stand a living here.
Oh no, that's terrible. But if they don't, if they can't support themselves and they have to go home, how will they get home? What money will they have to pick themselves up and go home?
Hey, well, look at Trump. Trump is saying, "Hey, I'll give you $2,000 to just get the f out of the country."
Hmm.
And you know what? A lot of people are doing that. Huh? You give a way to leave, and they do it.
Oh no.
So, and hey, you know this whole H-1B visa. You know what's so
Yeah.
funny about it? They've been doing this for decades, for several decades. Trump and Elon Musk put a spotlight onto it to say, "Hey guys, you want to know where your job is going? Why your jobs are leaving? Look here. Look at this."
Wow.
Because remember, Elon Musk is a defense contractor. You really think he's going to put Indians in a defense contract?
Hell no.
Exactly. So why would he? Why would he be trying to promote it? He wouldn't.
Hmm. That's right.
So if you think of
Hey, Elon Musk is what DOD certified.
DOW,
Okay, that too. A certified guy,
yeah,
and everything that happens at SpaceX,
yeah,
even Tesla, is considered state secrets.
exactly,
So the only people he can actually hire are American citizens
exactly.
who are predestination or predestined
Hmm.
with the Constitution and
Yeah,
patriotism,
yeah.
which means the likelihood that there's treason or sabotage or just outright not goodness from the employees is highly unlikely.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So when you see this and you see this all happening, then you think, oh, this is a whole show. This is a play fighting to highlight the to the public awareness. Hey, look, this is what these asshole companies were doing all this time.
Hmm.
They were trying to raise their margin by hiring cheaply. Gunter Eagleman, Trump unleashed West Coast oil production. President Trump just invoked the Defense Production Act to restart the Sable pipeline to dramatically increase oil production in West Coast. Detail Key detail: executive order allows the Department of Energy to restart the pipeline. Immediate production of 50,000 barrels of oil per day. California offshore oil production set to jump 550%. 20 million barrels of oil equivalent per year to supply 50 military installation in the West Coast. The order preempts the California restricted climate regulation, national security, energy dominance, or state level roadblocks, American energy for American military needs.
Mm.
Sorry, Trump did not just invoke the Defense Production Act. Trump invoked the Defense Production Act back in 2020, in March of 2020. When he said, I quote, "I am a wartime president, thus, in its national emergency, I'm invoking the Defense Production Act." He never rescinded it.
Oh no.
And Biden didn't rescind it either, President Autopen.
Oh wow. No way. That's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to feel about this.
yeah,
It makes me feel so confused. Somehow Biden and Trump thinking the same thing?
yeah.
What?
Who's puppeteering who?
Yeah.
Kevin Bass, they refuse to require ID to vote, but they require ID to use government grocery stores. Let's listen from New York.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, JPAC, to add some additional details.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that, and so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
How are you going to keep people from?
You need ID to prove that you're a New Yorker.
Oh no, not the ID thing.
To get access to the grocery store for New Yorkers.
So you need access to get access to food. You need your ID, but to get access to the ballot, you don't need ID.
Yeah.
What? This alone. Thank you to the communist socialist mayor, Mondani.
Yeah.
Thank you, slow clap, sir. You have just proven the
reason for ID.
Yes,
ID.
Yes. Thank you, sir. You have inadvertently proven it in a real world, undeniable situation. You, sir, are a great American hero.
Yes, we have to eat popcorn now and just watch the show.
Yes.
It's like fireworks.
Yes.
Blonde Gulfco, instead of drilling its own oil fields, California ships in oil from overseas in the Amazon rainforest and says it's to protect the environment. Yes, that's why the executive order is now national security, overriding all the BS. So you're probably going to see Gavin Newsom making a conference. As governor, as mayor, I unequivocally condemns President Trump's using national security to drill into the beautiful state of California, destroying its environment, the butterflies and the fishes that we set in place that California found deemed to be important. This is going to put us back in the climate timeline that we were trying to do, at least by 20 years. And it's going to pollute the air. It's going to make people sick. And I wholesale condemn it. I bet you he's going to say some asinine thing like that.
No way.
No way. Speaking of which, right?
Yep.
Remember when we kept joking the difference between us and a doctor is a piece of paper?
Yep.
Yeah, White Rabbit. There are now countless fake Indian medical profession operating in the U.S. right now.
I know it's absolutely sick, and I suspect it's happening in Canada too.
Yeah, fake doctors in India perform surgery while watching YouTube, cuts the intestines, patients dies.
Yeah, and this is just absolutely grotesque.
Yeah,
it's just as bad as a fake pilot.
mm-hmm.
You know, a fake doctor, a fake cop, a fake firefighter.
Yeah, at least a fake pilot can put it on autopilot.
Yeah, but it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, a fake cook, a fake, how did you say? There's a sense of trust from the public when it comes to police, ambulance, doctors, right? There's an inherent sense of trust.
Exactly.
These pieces of shit here are ruining that essential trust.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do when you get hurt? You're going to call a doctor? You're going to call you're going to call 911, all that stuff?
Yeah.
No, because you don't know if you're going to be subjected to a fake doctor.
Right.
That's gross.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, right now, the trust in the medical system has been eroded substantially because of the COVID and because of all the bullshit that happened around that.
And here's the other thing. this is just about India, right? How do we know other doctors from other countries don't have the same prevalence of fake
Yeah.
doctors? You know,
Yep.
we don't know. You know, so basically, you have to, you're taking a chance, and you're gonna have to be like, hey doctor, you know, hey, you see a doctor, whether it's Indian or foreign or whatever, say, hey doctor, where did you get your degree from? Oh, I got it from University of Bangladesh or whatever. They're like, oh, overseas. Okay doctor, thank you, I'm not I don't need your treatment, bye, kind of deal.
Yep.
Or, you know, you have to verify. It's like, yeah, are you a real doctor, or is that one of those fake diplomas? Even though the doctor's not going to say it's a real thing, you know, obviously, but you're going to have to start investigating before you go to a doctor's office now to be like, you know, is that really from a credible university and medical schools that they received their degrees from, or are they just fake, you know?
Yeah.
Fox News. Senator Mark Rubio finally explains the backstory behind the couch photos that launched 1,000 memes. When that photo first came out, I hated it. Its explanation on that couch: if you don't have a pillow behind you, your back, you kind of sink. Rubio says he now gets a laugh at the edits, even revealed Dan Scavino made him a board featuring some of the internet's favorite versions. So even Rubio's getting in on the action.
The meme thing, you know, was interesting because when it first came out, I hated that picture, you know, because what happened is in that couch, if you don't have a pillow behind your back, you kind of sink. So I looked at the picture, said, oh, this is terrible. I looked, you know, like whatever.
Blonde Golf Girl says, when Medicare is free, quote unquote, you get what you pay for. Exactly. That's the whole joke.
Yep.
And then it turned into this other thing, and it was fine, and it's funny. I don't really follow it very closely, but people have shown me pictures out there. We have a good friend here that works at the White House, Dan Scavino, made a nice board for me, and even since he made that board, we had to update it, so of all the different pictures, so that stuff is funny. The meme thing, you know, was interesting.
He put the one with the Venezuelan president's uniform in the middle. Oh, that's funny. George?
Yep.
So they're acknowledging the meme. Now here's the thing that's going to start making people talk more and get upset about.
Oh no.
Tony.
What?
Tony, American woman is absolutely livid after discovering that the COVID vaccine was a complete scam. She is furious with Anthony Fauci after being forced to take it, only to later find out that her ovaries shut down and her body is now functioning like that of a 70-year-old woman because of it.
Oh
I'm
my
going
gosh.
to fight you. Can I sue you?
That is terrible.
This whole like Fauci, however you say his name, American government situation is really disturbing me, and I want to fight someone. I really do, because what do you mean we didn't have to get the COVID vaccine? And I kind of feel two ways. One, I'm kind of like upset with myself because I really wish I would have trusted God and not taken the vaccine. I really do. And I remember Tiffany Montgomery saying, do not take that poison. But I didn't take it because I was fearful about COVID. I took it because I really needed a job. And at the time, the only job that was available to me was a job in healthcare. And you couldn't work in any healthcare system and not get the vaccine. You just couldn't. Like, it was a no. And I was like desperate at this point. I had just came from a stint of like sleeping in my car for a couple of months of like, I need a job. And that was the first job that was available to me. And I took the vaccine. But as soon as I took the vaccine, my period stopped. My ovaries shut down. I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, are you still getting your period? I'm like, yeah, well, it's like intermittent. And he's like, yeah, well, your body's functioning like a 70-year-old woman in menopause. And I was 32 at the time. And he's like, you know, the only way for you to have children is to freeze your eggs right now, try to do an IVF cycle, or donor eggs. I tried the IVF cycle from the hospital that I was working in, failed miserably. Okay, I needed like 4 more rounds, and the hospital at the time only gave you like $20,000 for IVF. A lifetime cycle, because, you know, depending on the cycle, it is very expensive. And I did $20,000 my first cycle. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
Yeah.
then the doctor's like, well, the only way that you're going to have a kid is if you get donor eggs, which I don't believe in them. I believe that God is going to do his big one when it's time for me to have children. He can do the impossible. So I'm really not worried about that part. But I'm just like, all of the things that I've been through, like my periods are so intermittent. It is really crazy. And I just don't understand how you're going to tell us right now that we never needed to get the COVID vaccine. Like, I'm going to fight you. Can I sue you? Like, I know that's rhetorical.
I believe if I recall correctly, George, um, we did say in our show back in the 500s, early 500s, 600s,
Mhm.
that mandate does not mean law.
Yeah.
That mandatory does not mean law. It's not the law.
Yeah.
So
They just coerced you
yeah,
or blackmailed you into
hmm
making a choice that you're not comfortable with.
yeah,
Which is grotesque in itself.
right. So a lot of women who
And
took the
men
and men.
the
Oh
men
yeah, we talked about that.
blue balls.
Yeah, we
No,
talked.
no pun intended.
No,
Literally blue balls.
no. Remember, we ran several stories where unvaccinated men's sperms are worth so much money
Yeah,
because of this. There's
yeah.
actually people setting up, you know, unvaccinated ovaries, eggs, and unvaccinated sperm banks.
Yep.
You know,
And
because
blood banks.
and blood banks because the blood of a vaccinated person breaks down like you're taking wafer blood thinners.
Yeah.
It's liquid. It's nasty stuff. That's why your walls are getting of your hearts gets injured.
We're not medical
We're not
advisors, by the
medical.
way.
We're just reading and recalling
We're
observations
just
from
talking. This
stories.
is entertainment purposes. Blah blah
Blah,
blah.
blah,
Screw
blah,
you,
blah.
YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wall Street Apes, attention! Everyone going to the Orange County Fair in California. Inside the art room, they have put up a framed picture depicting Donald Trump being murdered soon. It says it's Trump's last birthday and declares no kings, and it also has an LGBTQ plus flag.
Oh
Don't
hell.
yeah, don't support a fair that thinks it's okay to put this up. You know, everybody does you. You know what
These Democrats or the left, they keep saying they're peaceful. They're peaceful,
they're not
and
peaceful. It's double
and
speak.
they continue to exhibit aggression of this magnitude or
Exactly.
worse.
Exactly. These are all weaponized, non-playable, playable, non-player character. Let me see. Libs of TikTok. Francisca Horn, the Democrat frontrunner for Wisconsin mayor, required photo ID for people attending her rally over the weekend. Francisca, can't wait to see you at this Sunday. We make better possible rally in Milwaukee. We have the live performance of Emmett James and the 99th producer will be joined by Representative Ilan Omar and other very special guests. No bags allowed. Registration and photo ID require. School, state ID, driver's license. Location will be shared on the day of the event. Hope to see you. RSVP at the link in bio. You need an ID to go to a rally, George.
Oh no! Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
A Democrat's asking for an ID to go to a rally.
Oh, now you need an ID for food and a rally.
Right,
What? Wait a minute. You need an ID for have a car. You need an ID to go to a concert.
You need an ID to open a bank.
You need an ID to open a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
You need an ID to have an iPhone.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Oh,
I began to see a pattern here. I don't know what it is.
but-
Wait, you need an ID to enroll in school.
yeah,
Wait, you need an ID to have a job.
yeah. But you don't need an ID to vote?
Yeah, something's not connecting here. I don't know what it is, but something's not connecting.
Something not connecting. Joe Lang, exactly right. The Rockefeller Medical Industrial Complex has been creating viruses and cancer to purposely make people sick so they can profit off treating the symptoms and using the medicine derived from petroleum products that are poisonous. The Rockefeller created the Spanish flu, which kills millions, at the military base in Kansas. They were experimenting on vaccine and then blamed it on the Spanish. And all games of function experiment in vaccine. This is from Joe Lang, his opinion. And this is a response to Rapper Response 47. Senator Robert Kennedy Jr. No good things has ever come from gain of function research. So now we have adopted a system that's going to end it on our country, and we believe it will end it around the world. We'll no longer support science in other countries that support it. AKA all the biological labs that we found that Russia said, hey, you're experimenting gains of function. Why are you doing gain of function all over the world?
Yeah, why?
Oh no. Remember China's avian flu and the whatever other illnesses that came. I bet you those were gain of functions, accidentally, quote unquote.
Accidentally.
Yeah. Nikolai Holster, MPH, for the Peter MacCallum Foundation. Depopulation operation were launched in 2021 when over 70% of the global population was forced or coerced into taking the fertility-damaging COVID-19 vaccine that the Bill Gates spent over $100 million funding. These plans were revealed 16 years ago in a 2010 TED Talk where Bill Gates says his desire to reduce the population by 15% using vaccine. It's now 2026, and birth rate has collapsed all-time lows across much of the world. So, you know what? It reminds me of this old movie that I watched on UPN. I couldn't remember, but I remember it one of the things that they had was it was in the future, and people with the same code could only date and have children together. So if you're A, you can only date with A. If you're B, you can only date with B. If you're C, you can only date with C. Kind of deal.
Yeah, it's something interesting.
Uh-huh.
You know what MPH stands for?
Go ahead.
Master of Public Health. A doctor's credentials or label, Jane Smith, MD, MPH, it indicates that the physician has earned a graduate degree in public health in addition to their medical degree, MD, DO, etc. The degree focuses on population level health topics such as epidemiology, biostatistics, health policy, environmental health, and disease prevention control, rather than in individual clinical care alone. Many physicians pursue an MPH to work in public health agencies, research policy, global health, or leadership roles in healthcare systems. Do you know, now that I understand what MPH means?
Yeah.
Do you know these motherfuckers? I'm calling them the lowest pieces of shit on the planet. The news agencies, the social medias, companies, all these pieces of shit on the planet stifled the free speech of Dr. Peter McCullough and this gentleman here who has an MPH
Yeah, Nicholas Holtz,
the
Holzer.
label to right. They stifled these people's free speech
Mhm.
to warn the public of what they need to understand about COVID and how they should, approach, uh, um, the situation with their
Yeah,
physician. These assholes,
because the plan was.
especially the people who were running Twitter. Holy smokes!
Well, look, remember.
It's CNN of all. It does never brought, as far as I remember, I don't think CNN ever brought an MPH
No,
level
never,
position
ever.
on their
They were
on their
TV
board, on
doctors.
their
Remember?
show
They were
ever.
TV doctors. We read the Fauci diary. TV doctors. They didn't care for um, somebody like Nicola Holscher, because Nicola Holscher would say, "Here's the protocols. Here's the actual things. Why? Because the leading reports. Scientists says we need to halve the Earth population to just 4 billion people to save the planet per Daily Mail. Remember, this was a depopulation agenda.
Allegedly in
Allegedly.
Minecraft.
Well, no, actually, 1974 under national security that got disclassified by President Gerald Ford and
Yeah, I
Secretary of
know.
State.
We're just saying allegedly in Minecraft because of YouTube.
Yeah,
Everybody else, they know the game.
yeah, they know
You
the
know,
game.
we're just saying this because of YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube can screw yourself for your bullshit censorship.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is not health. Just for YouTube alone, this is not health advice. Talk to your doctor. We're not medical advisors.
talk to your doctor
Yeah,
about
yeah.
depopulation.
This is Talk to your doctor about population control,
Yeah.
and this is entertainment purposes. Screw you, YouTube. You got the disclaimer. You can do shit. All right.
Oh, by the way, remember YouTube deleted 1 million videos, anything critical about COVID-19 vaccines.
All right.
Yeah. So let's hear.
Very concerning that out of Bill Gates' mouth in 2010, we heard he literally seeks to reduce the human population by 10 to 15%. That is a depopulation effort. Those efforts may very well be underway with the COVID-19 mRNA injections. Birth rates have now collapsed to an all-time low since 2021.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
10 or 15.
2010 TED Talk.
Yeah.
Wall Street Mapes, if you have one of those 4%, below 4% mortgages, still maybe think twice before giving it up. With the way Congress is spending money, $40 trillion in debt, $2 trillion per year in budget deficit, 42% of all income tax revenue going to pay interest on the national debt, the bond vigilantes are demanding higher interest rate in this economy. More than 70% of recent home buyers were counting on mortgage rates to drop. Now they're stuck. As the average 30-year mortgage rate hovers around 6.5%, refinancing isn't an option for many homeowners. You should never, ever, ever, ever remortgage or refinance your mortgage at any time, because it's considered a new loan when you refinance. Meaning you start, yes. For the purposes of a loan, a refinancing means you get a new loan, meaning that all the principal, everything that you paid off, is reset back to zero.
And there must be a purpose for redoing a loan.
Yeah, you want, they give you a better, rate of lower payments. Guess what?
Oh.
Guess what? When you're saying, "Oh, hey guy, I see you're paying $600 on a 4% mortgage rate, right? We can do it for 2% variable rate, and you only have to pay $60 a month.
What?
What? Okay, we'll do it. Like dumb idiots you are. And then you refinance it. And guess what? You're on a variable rate instead of a fixed 4%. And when the market's good, you're at 2%. When the market is bad, you're at 29% mortgage rate. Ha ha, joke's on you. Your $60 a month goes to a $2,000 a month for the time being.
Oh no.
And that's what happens, and that's why a lot of people's houses get repossessed. So yeah, never, ever have a refinancing. So sell your kidney, but never get. I'm saying facetiously. It's a joke, facetiously. And now we know. Yes, just remember, 9.2 million ineligible voters. Or excuse me, ineligible members on Obamacare Medicaid expansion, nearly 50% fraud. So, hey, George, 9.2 million people on.
What about 9.2 million people?
Just think about it. They're able to easily identify 9.2 million people on one welfare program.
Oh.
How many other welfare programs are being used by these 9.2 million people? How many other welfare programs they can be easily identified? Oh, right. I know how many because Trump said it. 97% accurate of knowing who's eligible, who's not eligible, who's legal, and who's illegal. Quote, unquote. And this was 2019.
Okay.
So again, you keep getting the numbers and the numbers and the numbers. U.S. Army, China, this is over. We restricted the export of rare earth minerals and graphite. Your battery production is officially paralyzed. Japan, sips matcha. No, they don't like matcha. That's more of a foreigner thing. That's cute, but our new vehicles are rolling off the assembly line right now. China, impossible. You have no raw materials. Your supply chains are starved. Japan, solid state batteries, my friend. We replace your rare earth mineral with next gen tech that charges in 10 minutes and uses materials that we can source easily. Your mineral monopoly is basically just a paperweight now. China, friendly checks penance. Context. Japan automotive industry aggressively pushed solid-state battery technology to bypass traditional lithium and rare earth supply bottlenecks. Don't you think that that will be also bringing into over here?
What?
So, blind Gaffer, while it is a new loan, if the conditions are right, at a 80 LTV and going to a 15 year fix, one can save a packet on a refinance. Let me put in language that can be parsed out. Poor people think poorly, does not think of that. They make rash decision to save money, so shoots himself in the foot. So, an 80%, and she's talking about 80% loan to value, meaning that your loan mortgage is 80% of the property appraised value, but it requires a 20% down payment as well. And most people are not financially savvy. And for those who are savvy, are able to leverage it. And that's usually in the higher level tax bracket. Usually. Because if you're poor and you're doing that, you're not poor. You're just having a string of bad luck. All right, George. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, cool, awesome.
You don't know what's going even on.
I have no idea. It sounds like China something something and China something something.
So Japan made a solid state battery technology to bypass the lithium and rare earth batteries.
Mm.
So they're no longer beholden to China's monopoly.
Oh, okay.
And then I was saying that, hey, Japan's making factories here in the United States. Guess what? That solid state battery is going to come along with that factory. Guess what? American cars here built will have that solid state battery as well. So we don't need the lithium rare earth supplies as well.
Okay.
Huh. Rand Paul, Donald J. Trump Jr. is spot on. Donald J. Trump pleading the fifth after getting a pardon is like wearing a mask after being vaccinated. Oh, wait.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a interesting conundrum, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the DNC is begging for money because they have none.
Oh no.
We have no money. Then where were you getting all those money? What happened to your donors? How were you operating all these years? I guess the usual channels has been drying up. Jesse Water breaking another DNC cover-up. The author of the autopsy report says that the Democratic Party buried how the top brass got generationally wealthy. Turns out they knew Biden was going to lose but didn't care. The DNC chairman said he never saw it, even though it was personally handed to him. Ken Martin was hunkering down as leaker says that the party turned into a cashless dumpster fire.
What?
Well, won't be surprised. I mean, they're $20 million in the hole, the same amount of money that Kamala Harris is in there. Hey, wouldn't it be funny that the whole situation is purposely done that ways to basically bankrupt the Democratic Party?
Oh, come on, man. That's total conspiracy theory.
Yeah, Gav After Dark. Okay. So what's the real start time? Whatever's in your heart. You know. Peter A. McCollin, MD, MPH. So he's also an MPH, George.
I think he's the first MPH I was aware of.
Yeah. Why is Dana Bash, CNN, making assertion about the vaccine? In 2020, Pfizer signed a multi-deal making it CNN exclusive pharmaceutical advertiser. The arrangement raised obvious conflict of interest question given to CNN flaunting the pandemic coverage and relentless suppression of dissenting voices, all while Pfizer's cash flow flow directly into the network coffer. Hey, George, did you also know that Pfizer also said that they weren't part of Operation Warp Speed, that they didn't want the government oversight on their drugs?
Yeah, I remember that. It's like they didn't want to be part of the government shindig.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, we'll work with you, but we don't want to be in your system where we have to actually prove ourselves.
Yes.
So, you got called out. Called out. I agree with the caller outer.
With Cap. That's fine. I can take it. Basically, what's the word? Oh yeah. So if that's the case, that means that when Trump did Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer wasn't part of the Operation Warp Speed. So what did Operation Warp Speed entail? Who was actually part of Operation Warp Speed? Are we going to also find out that Moderna wasn't part of Operation Warp Speed? We're going to find Johnson & Johnson not Operation Warp Speed? Wouldn't that be something, George?
Would anybody even be part of Operation Warp Speed? Maybe Operation Warp Speed was just a title for everyone to target or look towards. Maybe it was just an empty shell.
Maybe it was a placebo, just high vitamin D.
Yeah.
Shots.
Yeah, we're doing Operation Warp Speed. It's going to be awesome, and everybody's going, "Oh, cool! Yeah, Warp Speed. Yeah, yeah."
Or here's the twisting of the mind bit. It could be a little bit stretchy. It could possibly be it. Hey George, if you know that your enemy has poison, and it's going to poison it, and they're not ready, and you announce that you're going to release the poison or whatever, with like something like Operation Warp Speed, that means that you would catch them flat-footed and they wouldn't be ready, so they'll be releasing the poison, but it wouldn't be as bad as it would have been if they were ready. Right?
I guess so, yeah.
So, and then we have all those lawsuits. They said you can't sue us because the government knew that we were already corrupt. Remember
that? I think that's one of the best headlines ever.
Right. So you can't sue them criminally, right? But you can sue them civilly.
Yep.
So the way to defeat Pfizer, Moderna, and these other companies is large, multi-class civil lawsuits. Where you kind of defeat them by a cuts, by 10,000 cuts, basically. That they go bankrupt, sort of, in that regard.
You know what's terrible?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, well, we're all focused on, Fauci and Bill Gates and all that stuff.
They're just the front guys for the plan. We still have to figure out who got the ball rolling.
There's a bunch of guys that no one pays attention to,
mm-hmm.
and those guys are just as Bill Gates-ish and Fauci-ish, but they never get the limelight.
Yeah. Gap after dark. Before you sue them with civil lawsuit, make sure you start your lawsuit on time.
Huh.
We'll start our lawsuit whenever our hearts feel like it, or we'll forget about it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm purposely damaging the Santana riff so we don't get copyright. Let's try. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I mean, if you look at the news right now, they're making such obvious errors, obvious stupid things that you have to think this is not the same media that was attacking Trump back in 2017, first term.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the same media in the last couple decades.
Mm-hmm.
This is like so sloppy work that somebody has to be like pointing out and calling it out, like, why are you guys so sloppy?
Yep.
Tuba Cabra. Coincident, the reporter who broke the story of the Epstein suicide was also an advisor for Stanley Kubrick's final film, Eyes Wide Shut. Larry Siona was featured in the film as a journalist who covers for the elite sect cult after they murder a woman.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Eric, wow, Aaron Rodgers just went off during a recent interview. All right, let's hear it.
Because is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Gotta
that.
love that guy.
Okay.
Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci. Absolute coward.
Yeah.
There, it's back,
Are
baby.
you kidding me?
Yeah. 111
You
times.
got a pardon and you're in front and you pleaded over 100 times
Yeah.
at the White House. What are you scared of, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought you were the science.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were I am science, and you get up there and you can't answer a question.
Yeah.
What are we
it,
doing?
baby.
And how much time did the network spend at that? How much time did they spend on my responses every week, on my vaccination status, on Taylor and Travis's wedding? Did they do even a minute? Did they do even a minute?
This is a watershed moment, George.
You think?
Yeah, because this is ESPN. Basically, this is dad coming into work trying to drink a beer, watching a game, and he's seeing this, and this is I plead at the advice of my counselor. I respectfully assert my privilege to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I dig what you're saying.
That means regular Joe, as the politicians say, Joe, everybody is now understanding the whole situation. So if you want, there's water in the shed. There's water in the shed. So it's a shed moment, watershed moment. Eric, just in Florida, Alabama, Louisiana has just launched an investigation into Dr. Fauci. So if we're wondering where we are at with the level of understanding, you just saw one of the hallmarks of it. The state level investigation are not covered under the auto pen pardon. Leave no stone unturned. Dr. Fauci must face consequences. Governor Ron DeSantis, this guy was drinking his own Kool-Aid. I love the Jim Jones reference there. He was verminated by the media. I think he liked the fact that he had a lot of this informal power when he was issuing these recommendations, telling governors and mayors to do some of the draconian things that were actually done. It was a really negative effect on a lot of society throughout this country. You had businesses reeling, people liberty curtailed, and kids left on the sideline unable to access education. Yeah, remember 2020, 2021, we had kids delayed because they were on the Zoom. Who's actually paying attention on a Zoom call? Nobody. Less than a kid.
Yep.
So that's what's going on. George, any comments?
No, it's like at this point, at this point,
Mm-hmm.
lots of people are going to be posting their comments.
Mm-hmm.
And my only thinking is, talk. Let's make sure, that we find and feature
Mm-hmm.
the people who are not into talking, but are into the action. And what action are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're in the action of lawsuit, the grand jury investigation, the court procedures, the stuff that you see on TV. Let's see it actually happen in real life. Let's see the prosecution for the witness or the whatever. Let's see Raymond Burr stuff. That kind of level quality entertainment. Let's see Johnny Depp, Amber Heard what do you call spectacle. Give us some good entertainment. If Fauci's going to go down for all this terrible stuff that happened during COVID, at the very least, give us a really good entertainment that comes with it.
I see.
I mean, otherwise, it's just going to be boring. It's like it's like the Death Star trench run. But that only happened like halfway through the movie. The rest of the movie is them slow walking towards the congratulatory award ceremony. How boring would that be? I mean, really.
Very boring. I'm already falling asleep. So, Bo London says USAID was ended. The DNC is now $18.5 million in debt. Joe Biden lost. He's $190 million short of what's needed for his presidential library. Hillary Clinton lost. The Clinton Foundation revenue plummeted by 50% from 2016 to 2018.
Holy smokes. What the hell is the USAID doing all this time?
Pay to win, baby. Pay to win.
That's insane.
Oh, by the way, Maze, when the vaccine doesn't do what it's supposed to do and the science is actually just guessing, you end up with messaging like this. Let's do a little walk back in 2021.
If you're vaccinated, you can be around the vaccinated or unvaccinated people. We're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers. But if you're not vaccinated or not fully vaccinated, you should wear a mask for your own protection and the protection of other unvaccinated people. The choice is yours. You all made this possible. This is not about freedom or personal choice. We've had too much conflict, too much bitterness, too much anger. I understand your anger at those who haven't gotten vaccinated. Let's be patient. Be patient with one another. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. If you're vaccinated, you can be around the vaccinated or unvaccinated people. We're going to protect.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the faces of those people? You listened to the message, but did you actually pay attention to the facial structure?
Just kept changing every single time. April 2020.
The idea that this virus escaped from the
This is
lab is just pure baloney. It's simply not true. I've been working with that lab for 15 years, and the samples collected were collected by me and others in collaboration with our Chinese colleagues. They're some of the best scientists in the world. There was no viral isolate in the lab. There was no cultured virus that's anything related to SARS coronavirus 2, so it's just not possible. And like you say, it's really a politicization of the origins of a pandemic, and it's really unfortunate. The idea that this virus escaped from the lab is just pure baloney.
This is Peter Drazak.
Oh, is he a nice guy or a bad guy?
He was working with Fauci.
Oh, so he's
He was with Echo Health Alliance.
Oh, and they were
the one who was doing the gain of function research.
Oh, and we
read it in two special counsel reports.
And then we did
and we found out that everything that this guy was saying was bullshit, and he has indictment. But we're not a trillionaire.
We have no idea what we're talking about.
Exactly. Well, Jeffrey Tobin wasn't paying attention on his Zoom call with his pants down. I thought that was Brian Scoutsler who has his pants down. I guess a lot of CNN reporters do Zoom calls without pants.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Yeah,
it's like you see a camera, you got to take your pants off.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Exactly. They've been pantsed. Oh, Joe wrote this from fan commentary. Joe Rogan recaps. So Joe Rogan had a guest, Annie Jacobson, who exposes how billions of dollars are being funneled through gains of function research, and that were 110 maximum security germ labs filled with the deadliest disease in the world. Hey, George, what's the coincidence that Annie Jacobson is starting to show all around being interviewed for the same information that we discover many times over, and it's only coming out and being promoted by these guys just after Anthony Fauci's pleads the fifth 111 times?
I don't know. What?
How many different countries do we know are involved in this kind of biological war research?
So
any country that accepted USA ID.
For starters, biological war is illegal. Biological weapons are illegal. Unlike nuclear weapons, believe it or not, are perfectly legal for the countries that have them. Wrap your head around that. But everybody signed a treaty in 1972 called the Biological Weapons Convention Treaty, saying we will not make biological weapons. They are odious to the continent.
Whoops.
Something's not right here.
Whoopsie.
Somebody's been making these things, and they're not following the that little piece of paper that signed something.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on here?
Of mankind. At that point, the Soviets signed the treaty, crossed their fingers behind their back, and made a ginormous biological weapons program that you talked about earlier, okay? America allegedly destroyed her arsenal of biological weapons, which took 219 weeks to destroy, by the way. And not for another 20 years did we learn that actually the Soviets were running this biological weapons program, and we only learned it because of the Soviet defectors. The CIA had no idea. Defense Department had no idea.
So we had completely stopped all of that work?
According to the documents, according to anyone you interview, we had stopped biological weapons work.
What year was this, Hall?
Nixon made a declaration in 1969, like, we're just giving up our biological weapons program. And then everyone else followed suit, and the treaty came about in 1972.
But the Soviets continued their work.
The Soviets not only continued, they went bang on it. And they later called it their Manhattan Project.
And weren't there bioweapons labs in Ukraine?
You're talking about recently?
Yeah. That the United States was involved in?
What there are biosafety labs. Okay, so your original question was where are they around the world? So
right.
So they're illegal. But what isn't illegal, because this is a carve-out in the treaty, you can do research for prophylactic purposes, for medical countermeasures.
Whoa,
That's the carve-out.
What does prophylactic purposes mean?
Was it prophylactic?
Yeah.
That is the guarding or spread or guarding from or preventing the spread of occurrence of disease or an infection.
It doesn't make any sense. If it's illegal, then why
So
would you even do it?
so basically,
Or for whatever
so,
reason.
so the loophole they gave themselves is, oh, we're only researching this banned topic for prevention reasons only. You know, it's for medical. It's to just because we ban it doesn't mean our enemies are not going to make biological weapons. So we need to study and make sure we have a countermeasure for it, right? Quote unquote.
Check.
So that's where we've gotten to gain of function, you see. Like, oh, we're just doing this for prophylactic purposes.
That's how the DOD gets involved.
Okay. So
DOW.
Before 9/11, 9/11 factors into this, and so does Dick Cheney, because before 9/11, America had 2 BSL-4 labs, biosafety level 4. That's the highest level. That's like you saw the suits, the tubes, your arms are in the boxes, you're taking a chemical shower before you go in. America had 2, one at Fort Detrick, that's the DOD's.
And the other one, George, let me give you a guess. Where do you think the other one is located?
Ukraine?
No, in the United States.
Oh,
The other one.
MIT?
No.
Massachusetts?
No, that's MIT, you're saying.
Oh, okay. Hold on a sec. Texas?
No.
Okay, hold on. Atlanta.
Bingo.
Lab. One at the CDC in Atlanta. That's the civilian lab. 9/11 happens. Remember the anthrax attacks? Never solved. Thank you, FBI. Dick
Well, guess where the anthrax likely came from?
Cheney personally is terrified of bioweapons. And he spearheads the efforts for this giant biological military industrial complex that then takes off and begins with billions of dollars pumped into gain of function type research. And America goes from having 2 BSL labs to having 15. And the world follows suit. So there are 110 BSL-4 labs around the world, including in countries that are at war.
You mean like Iran, Israel, Ukraine, China? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it seems to make a
All right, Vince Alexander, remembering Jackie Ormans, born today, 1911, who was the first Black woman cartoonist with a nationally distributed comic strip. Here she is in a 1953 newsreel.
In the studio of Jackie Orms, one of the few women cartoonists, the popular comic strip characters of Torchy and Heartbeat and Patty Joe literally spring to life. Syndicated in scores of newspapers, her cartoons reach more than 1 million readers each week. Fashion-minded youngsters especially like Torchy Togs, the cutout section of the comics. Jackie has received many awards for her creations that have developed into many interesting sidelines. Probably the most famous is the Patty Joe doll. One of the nation's first, Patty Joe is known and favored in America as the ideal Negro-type doll, a cute playmate that's brought happiness to many a youngster. The achievement Jackie Orms is proudest of. Happiness is her trademark. In the studio of Jackie Orm.
Oh, okay. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Liz Churchill, the pandemics will end when the science is planning them go to prison. Barrick, Daszak, Fauci, Gates, Morans. Yeah.
Apparently, so this is the gang.
It's one of the nodes, but it's not the gang, George.
Yeah, no, this is what social media says. We say, who the hell are these people? Except for, Fauci, which we know of, and Gates, which we know of. I don't know these other guys.
Oh, yeah, you should know. This is Peter Dastrak, Echo Alliance. Moore, who, remember, was the editor for Fauci, remember? For Gates. So he edited Gates' paper, and gave feedbacks. He was, and this guy was also, let me see. This was also NIH and virus. Let me see. Barrick. He was the epidemiologist and virologist for the coronavirus, and he was working at Chapel Hills. He was like, "Oh, here's the things."
Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but he also was almost debarred. He faced proposed debarment proceedings and funding suspension from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services regarding historic administrative communication on virus studies. So basically, he's the guy who mucked up all the communications. So, the gang of 5, meets the gang of 6. Oh, by the way, I guess we'll end it with this one. The White House. Silence your cell phone, sit back, and welcome to the golden age.
We come to this place for MAGA, to fight, and win. Because we need that, all of us. The indescribable feeling we get when we hear the national anthem. And stand together, stronger than ever before. Under this administration, we're going somewhere we've never been. We aren't just watching history, we're making it. Rebuilding our country better than ever. A country where we don't do heartbreak, we do victory. An America that is safer, more secure, more prosperous. And any setbacks that stand in our way simply makes the comeback that much sweeter. Welcome to the golden age.
That's from the White House?
Yeah.
Who the heck is doing their social media, man?
The White House, at White House. Does Sonny still have his Capital One card? I think we'll hit the golden age when every guy starts wearing their suits again. Remember back in the 40s and 50s, in 20s, everybody was wearing suit and ties.
Mm-hmm.
That showed that you had money and discipline. I think we'll be full on to the golden age when everybody's back into that style. Instead of just looking like somebody, like an extra from Idiocracy.
Yeah, I can dig it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to Blonde Goth Girl. Thank you to Gap After Dark. Thank you to our lurkers and bots. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
We'll see you tomorrow when our hearts feel like it and do the show again. Until then, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of the evening.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe that together we can make America great again.